Hey guys, it's Benedictines the Vegan. Today I'm going to be talking about the number one argument against antinatalism. And not only is it the number one argument against antinatalism, I think it is the only argument against antinatalism. The problem that most antinatalists have is that people that are here didn't choose to be here. We brought people into this world without their consent. It doesn't matter if we think that this world is good. It doesn't matter if we think that this experience is worth it. We cannot bring people into this world without their consent. That is wrong on so many levels. Just like we can't do things to people without their consent because we believe that we must do these things. Just like you can't force another person to believe in your religion just because you believe that they will be saved if they believe in your religion. It is wrong to do things to people without their consent. It is wrong to force people to do things without their consent. But what if we actually did choose to be here? What if we did choose to be here, but we forgot that we chose to be here? That's what a lot of people who believe in New Age spirituality actually believe. They believe that we actually chose to be here. We actually chose to have the experience that we are having. And not only did we choose to be here, we chose how our lives are going to be. There isn't anything that happens to us that we did not choose. There isn't any experience that we get to have that we didn't choose to have. We consented to all of this. If your friend steals your money, you consented to that. You've agreed with them before you came here that they're gonna steal money from you. If a baby dies at the age of 3, that baby consented to dying at the age of 3. Doesn't matter how the baby dies. No, if it dies of cancer, it consented to that. If it dies because of fire, for an example, they consented to that. Whatever happens to us, we consented to it. There isn't anything that has happened to us without our consent. We just forgot that we consented to this. We had soul contracts before we came into this world. I mean, that's the only argument against antinatalism. The only argument against antinatalism is that we actually did choose to be here. If that is true, then it is the only argument against antinatalism. But is it true? Is it true that people that are here actually chose to be here? They actually chose to have the experiences that they are having. Because if no one chose to be here, then this is all wrong. So we need to find out if we actually did choose to be here. There are many New Age spiritual teachers that actually teach their followers about what I'm telling you. Teach them about soul contracts, how to break soul contracts, how to remember their past lives. Dolores Cannon is one of the most famous proponents of this idea that actually did choose to be here. She's very famous. She has a large following. She believes that because she's able to hypnotize people and make them remember their past lives. And most of the people that she's able to hypnotize say the same thing. That's why she believes that we actually did choose to be here. Another person that believes that we chose to be here, that's famous, is Till Swan. She's a spiritual teacher as well. She believes that we chose to be here. I remember she was asked by one of her followers what she thinks happened to people who die by suicide, and she said, well, they come back because we are here to learn. We are here to learn. So if you do not finish your lessons, you come back. And I always thought that was weird, because here's the problem. I want to show you something, because to get to the truth, we need to think deeply. We need to think deeply. There are ideas that are very tempting to believe in, but we need to think deeply about them before we believe these ideas. Suicide is just like any other death. It's death, right? So let's just say I choose to go and murder someone. I will have murdered them before their time is up. So does it mean that they actually come back? Because it will mean that their lessons are still not finished. They'll still need to come back, right? Because they would have died because I chose to kill them. The same way that if a person dies by suicide, they would have chosen to actually end their lives. So the question will be, well, what is the perfect death then? Is it when people die of old age? They won't need to come back and learn their lessons? Like, what is the perfect way to die? How does a person know when they've finished their lessons? When you think about this deeply enough, you realize that people are just being manipulated. They are being lied to. And the thing is, we want to believe that we chose to be here because believing that makes us feel good about what is happening in our lives. Because we'll think that, okay, whatever's happening to us is actually happening for the greater good. I'm not just suffering. I'm suffering because I chose to suffer. There's something that I'm going to gain in the end. Maybe I'll gain experience. Maybe I will get to expand my awareness. I chose this life for a reason. I chose that I get bullied at an early age for a reason. I chose that I get a terminal illness for a reason. I chose that I become homeless for a reason. I chose that I must become addicted to drugs for a reason. I chose that I die by suicide for a reason. Because really, if we consented to all this, it means that even the decisions that we make are the decisions that we have decided before we came here that we were going to make these decisions. There isn't anything that we do that we didn't decide that we were going to do before coming here. Just like I've been telling you guys that there is no free will. Right? It's obvious that there is no free will. So that will mean that we chose what's going to happen to us when we're here. But here's the thing, though. People that are here truly go through a lot. Like, they go through a lot. There ain't that many people that will tell you that their lives were actually meaningful. Like, if you really try to have a conversation with them about life, about the meaning of life, they wouldn't be able to tell you that why they believe that life is meaningful. Because some people are going to say life is meaningful, but Why? I mean, most people are dumb, bro. Like, they will say whatever they need to say to feel good, you know? So, yes, many people are going to say that life is meaningful. But if you ask them, okay, what's meaningful about life? They won't be able to tell you. That's because the experiences that we're having are actually meaningless. It's not like people are learning and they're becoming better versions of themselves. Most people are dumb as fuck. You know, they don't get to learn anything. They just try to survive in this world. And you can see that people are just trying to survive. It's not like we are learning and we're becoming better versions of ourselves. That's not true. What is happening is that we're trying to survive in this world. So we are learning how to survive in this world. Do you understand that? We're not expanding our awareness. We're not becoming wiser. We are just learning how to survive in this world. It's like if you were in a prison and you've never been to a prison before, you'd need to learn how to survive in prison, because that's not how you survive. That's not how we survived in outside. You see, so you would need to learn how to survive in prison. Now, the rules are different. The rules of survival are different from the rules that you would be used to. You'd need to learn how to treat other prisoners. You'd need to learn how to make deals with other prisoners, how to protect yourself, how to get other prisoners to protect you. In this world, you know that, okay, if I have a problem, I can just call the cops, you know, they'll come and handle my problem. But then in prison, things don't work that way. You might call the guards and you tell them that you have a problem, and they do nothing about your problem. And you find yourself in more trouble because you would have snitched. So really, we are learning how to survive. That's what we are learning. Again, we are learning how to survive. We are not really becoming wiser. You don't become wiser when you learn how to survive in prison. In fact, some of the people who survive prison, when they come back to the real world, they don't know how to function. No, because they are no longer used to the rules of this world. You know, they come from another world, because that's another world. It's not. This prison is not like society itself. Like that's another society. So you cannot tell me that you can go to a prison just to learn how to live your life. It doesn't work. Right? It doesn't work. Because you will just be trying to survive. So you won't come back a better person, you know? Unless they actually rehabilitate you, but that's not what they do most times. You know, prisoners just find themselves trying to survive. You know, unless maybe you decide that, you know what, I'm not going to do what they're doing in this prison. I'm just going to isolate myself. I'm just going to use my time to learn, to actually learn. You see? You're not learning how to survive. You're actually learning. You're actually expanding your awareness on your own. You cannot expand your awareness by just trying to figure out how to survive. And what we're doing in this world is trying to survive. You know, it's not like we're just trying to learn. We are only learning how to survive. We're not expanding our awareness. So you cannot say that we came here to learn. To learn what? So our souls should get recycled, because, you know, people who believe in New Age spirituality also believe that when we die, we come back. We come back to finish our lessons. If we do not finish our lessons, we're going to keep on coming back. We're going to keep on coming back. We're going to keep on coming back. Dolores Cannon says that a lot. Like, you're going to keep on coming back until you finish your lessons. But how do you learn if you keep on forgetting your lessons? Think about it. Like, let's be smart here. How do you learn if you keep on forgetting your fucking lessons? That doesn't make any sense. Can you imagine if they had technology that they can use to wipe off your memories? You would know nothing. You would need to relearn everything. You see the problem? You literally need to relearn everything. Which brings me to my next point. Nobody chose to be here. You want to know why? Because we are our memories. If they wiped off your memories completely and you remembered nothing, you will not make the same decisions that you will make if you remembered everything. You understand that? If they wiped off my memories completely, I would not be an internationalist anymore. You see? So that means that I will do things differently. That would mean that I would want to have children, because, you know, I live in a society where, you know, people are being programmed to, you know, want to have children. You know, they don't even like question the ethics of having children. They just have children because, you know, society makes it seem as if like that's what each and every person must do. You know, it's our responsibility as people to make sure that we procreate, make sure that we bring more people here. We shouldn't even think about it like it's just something that each and every person must do. If you say that you don't want to do that, people feel like there's something wrong with you. So I would need to relearn the lessons that I've learned. I would need to experience life the way that I've experienced it to know what I know now. You see? So when you really think about it, you actually realize that no, that's a fucking trap. To learn, you must actually remember your fucking lessons. Can you imagine if you went to a driving school and actually passed, but then forgot how to drive? How the fuck are you going to drive? Your memories are very important because you are able to do things because of your memories. You remember how to walk because of your memories. If you didn't have any memories at all, like if they wiped off your memories completely, you wouldn't even be able to walk. You would need to learn how to walk. You would fall. You'd even need to learn how to talk. You'd even need to learn the language that you speak now. You need to learn everything. You see? So you cannot tell me that we came here to learn if we keep on forgetting our fucking lessons. You can see that something is not right, especially considering how much people get to suffer when they are here. It makes more sense to believe that we are being manipulated. Suffering means that something is not right and we must do something about it. When you have a headache, you know that something is not right. You must do something about it. It doesn't mean that you must just be like, I have a headache. You know, I chose to have this headache. You chose to have this headache for what? Pain is a sign that something is not right and it needs to be fixed. So you're suffering because something is not right and it needs to be fixed. You're not suffering because you chose to suffer. There's nothing that you're going to benefit from suffering. You gotta understand that there's nothing that you're going to benefit from suffering. There isn't a thing that you're going to benefit from suffering. You only learn how to avoid suffering. That's it. It's not like you actually benefit something from suffering. No, you actually learn how to avoid suffering. That's it. That's the only thing that you learn, how to avoid suffering. There are people in this world who do not want to get married because they've been married before and they suffered a lot in their marriages. So they're like, you know what? I'm never getting married again. So they're trying to avoid suffering. They've learned that things can really happen. You know, you can get cheated on, you can get abused by the person that you live with, the person that is supposed to be there for you, the person that's supposed to love you, the person that's supposed to protect you. That person can abuse you. So you know what? I'm not going to put myself in the same situation again. But that doesn't mean that you are now woke, you know, to be like, and if that's what it meant, like if it meant that you are actually woke, if you figured out how to avoid suffering, it will mean that waking up is actually avoiding suffering. And what is the best way to avoid suffering? Is by not bringing more people here. Yeah, because they wouldn't have to go through suffering, you know. Think of all the children that you could have had. Let's just say each and every time you had sex, you actually conceived. How many children would you be having now? How would you think their lives would have been? They would have suffered a lot. So because you didn't conceive, these children weren't born and they didn't have to go through suffering. We don't really get to learn anything in this world, man. We just only learn how to survive, you know. I just know how to survive now because I know that if I don't learn how to survive, I suffer. So I had to learn how to survive in this realm. Just like if you were in a war, you need to learn how to survive a war. Because the rules will be different from the rules that you're used to. You can just get shot at any time. So you need to learn how to protect yourself. You need to learn how to use a weapon. That doesn't mean that when you come back from a war, you come back smarter than you used to be. Like you would have reached a higher level of consciousness. No. Because you would have only learned how to survive. It's not like war is necessary. You know, you must learn how to fight and all these kind of things. It's not necessary, you know. You would have only had to learn how to survive a war because you were born here, you know. So don't let people lie to you. I do understand that it is very tempting to believe that you chose to be here. It makes you feel good. I believe that too. You know, I remember in 2018, I discovered the work of Abraham Hicks. And I just fell in love with her work, you know. She spoke about how we all chose to be here, blah, blah, blah. We're all here to learn. And I was going through a lot at the time. So I was like, oh shit, so I chose all of this so that I would learn, so that I would become a better version of myself. All right, that makes sense, you know. And that actually did help me heal. You know, when you feel like you chose your suffering, you actually can find yourself, you know, accepting the things that have happened to you, the things that are causing you suffering, because you feel like you have consented to all of it. So it makes you feel good to believe that you chose to be here. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you are having a positive experience. You know, there isn't anything that can happen to you without your consent. You just don't know why you made a choice to experience what you're experiencing. This reminds me of what the Oracle said to Neo in Matrix Revolution. Is it Matrix Revolution or Matrix Reloaded? Don't really remember, but it's one of these movies. I think Neo asked if the Oracle already knows what's gonna happen. He asked, how do I have a choice if you already know what's gonna happen? And she said, you still won't get it, do you? You didn't come here to make a choice. You already made the choice. You came here to understand why you made a choice. And you know, I felt like that's beautiful, like that's profound. That makes you think. You didn't come here to make a choice. No. You've already made a choice. You actually come here to understand why you made a choice. So you've already made the choice, but why did you make that choice? Well, that's beautiful. If you try to look at life that way, you'd actually feel better than a person that feels like they were born without their consent and this world is evil, everything that's happening here is evil. You feel much better than that person, you see? It makes you feel good to believe that you chose to be here. This is the reason why it's easy to be religious. I love when people that are religious say that it's not easy. Like when a person that's a Christian says that it's not easy to be a Christian. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's the easiest thing ever. Being a Christian is so easy. So easy. Because, especially if you live in a country like South Africa, 90% of people here actually believe in Christianity. So they think that Christians are good people. That means people are going to treat you well because they think that you're a good person, you know. When pastors cheat on their wives, people ask themselves a lot of questions because they don't expect pastors to do something like that. You know, they expect pastors to be good, you know. People expect good things from people that are Christians. And also, it feels good to belong to a particular group, you know, to have like a big support group. Can you imagine if every time you had a problem, you knew that you had real support, you know, even though support isn't really real. I remember I watched this other video 2 days back. It was a video of this other church congregation. The pastor was preaching and some robbers entered the church and started robbing everyone. The pastor just knelt down. I was like, these people are not even embarrassed to like kneel down in a fucking church. You've been preaching to your followers that God is powerful, God is going to protect you, but you decided to kneel down right away because someone has a gun. And you're going to find excuses, like, God is going to punish those people. God is going to find those people. God has protected us. We could have gotten shot, but no one got shot. So God has protected us. Like, no, you were just a bitch, and they realized that you were a bitch. So they weren't going to shoot you. You were just a coward. Really. It's funny, man, that when they face real challenges, they stop believing in God. Like, they forget that they believe in God. They forget that God is powerful. So that's why I say that it's not even real support. It's fake. You only get that kind of support when you're not dealing with real shit. When they're really sick, they'll go to hospitals. They're going to believe in science. You're like, man, it sucks. They're not real. But anyway, yeah, it's good to feel like you are part of a group. You're part of a group that is actually big. Even if it doesn't believe in something that is true. There's a reason why many people who end up becoming members of a cult are people that are broken. People that have no one. It's because it feels good to feel like you are part of a group. If you are homeless, you have no one that loves you, you have no one that takes care of you, you feel alone all the time, and someone like Charles Manson approaches you and like, yo, man, you can be part of my cult, here we'll take care of you, we'll be like a family. Of course, you're gonna want to be part of that cult, because what you need is to feel like you belong somewhere. No, it's not easy to feel alone. That's the thing. No one wants to feel alone. We're social creatures. People want to belong somewhere, They don't want to feel like they don't belong anywhere. So being a Christian is really easy because many people in this world are Christians. Although Christianity isn't the most powerful religion in this world, Islam is the most powerful religion in this world, but there are more Christians than there are Muslims in this world. Why do I say that Islam is more powerful than Christianity? It's because, Muslims actually do believe in Allah, They actually believe in Allah. Like, I remember there's this guy, his name is Khabib Nurmagomedov. He was a UFC fighter. He retired at the age of 31 or 32, don't really remember. When he retired, he was undefeated. I don't know why he was undefeated, because he was very disciplined. Like, those guys are very disciplined. Right now, the current UFC lightweight champion is his best friend, Islam Makhachev. He's also a Muslim. Those guys are so disciplined, like, they're hard to beat. I remember Conor McGregor thought that he could beat Khabib, but, he got dominated. He only won like one round, and it's not like he dominated that round. Muslims are very disciplined. No, they really believe in that bullshit. I saw a video of these other Muslims like they were praying. Yeah, they were praying. It was like 4 or 5 Muslims, and there was an earthquake. Some of them ran away. Some of them remained in their place of worship, and they continued to pray. I was like, damn, if it was Christians, they would have all ran away. So yeah, Muslims are very powerful, man. But yeah, the point that I'm trying to make is that we all want to feel like we belong somewhere. So being a Christian is very easy because There are churches everywhere, especially here in South Africa, but not just here in South Africa. I do believe that it's like that in most countries. There are churches everywhere, and they'll be telling you that Jesus loves you. I don't know how many people told me that Jesus loves me. Even here in the comment section, people have said that Jesus loves me. Like, what? Like, I ain't even talking about Jesus and you're telling me that he loves me. Who cares if another dude loves me? I'm not gay. It's manipulation, man. They know that each and every person wants to feel loved. Now, here's the thing. Not all Christians know that that's manipulation. They're just repeating what they've heard their pastors saying, what they've heard their leaders saying. They don't know that it's manipulation, and some of their leaders don't know that it's manipulation. It's only the people that have created Christianity that know that that's manipulation. Because remember, Jesus was not even a Christian. It's not like Jesus was a Christian and he wanted people to be Christians. No, he was not a Christian. So it's the people that actually wrote the Bible that were manipulative. Yeah, but what we must understand is that no one chose to be here. No one chose to have this experience, Don't let people lie to you. People are full of shit, man. The lady that I'm telling you about, I think she wrote many books talking about how people chose to be here. She's very famous. She's made a lot of money. If you don't know who you are, people are gonna make money off you, by lying to you, telling you that you are what you're not. Some of these people are just charismatic, They're very charismatic. They know how to make people believe what they're saying. That doesn't mean that they know what the heck they're talking about. The truth is that we don't really know what's going on. If there are people who know what's going on here, they're not even telling us anything. This is the people that are making shit happen, This is the people that control everything, people that be making decisions for everyone. Those are the people that might know what the heck is going on. But they're not lying to people. They're just making shit happen. They don't have to lie to people that are rich. They got all the money. They don't need to lie to people. I mean, they are lying to people in a different way, but they don't lie about, what's really like happening. We don't even know them, They just make decisions, and there will be people that will make sure that these decisions that they've taken get implemented, and that's it. It is obvious that something isn't right in this world, We just like to lie to ourselves as people because we're too lazy to think, Sometimes we just allow other people to think for us. I forgot that it rained yesterday. That means that I will need to go back. Look at how dirty this water is. We used to swim here and we never got sick. We used to swim here and we never got sick. But now if I decided to swim here, I would get admitted to a hospital within some few hours. I think it has to do with the food that we eat, man. We eat crap. You know, when I was young, we used to eat lots of organic food. We still do eat organic food, but there's a lot of crap that we eat, man. Trust me, if we chose to be here, we would know that we chose to be here, you know? You would know that you chose to be here. Because it is important that you know that you chose to be here. It is important that you know what lessons you have learned in your previous life. Because that's the only way that you would learn. There are some lessons that I've learned in this life, but that although these lessons just only had to do with survival in this world, but I don't make the same mistakes that I made in the past because I still remember these mistakes. I still remember the lessons that I've learned from these mistakes. So don't let anyone lie to you. This world is evil. Everything about it is evil. Nature is evil. The fact that we have to kill to survive, that's fucking evil, bruh. Like, what do you need to see to believe that this world is evil? The fact that we need to kill to survive is evil. The fact that we don't even see anything wrong with the way that we're treating animals is fucking evil. The fact that animals have to kill each other to survive, that is evil. The fact that there are people that are billionaires in this world that make decisions for everyone, while there are people who don't even have 1,000 in their bank accounts and they're poor, they don't know what to do with their lives. That's fucking evil, bro. That's what happens in this world. The fact that there are lots of people that are depressed, really, really depressed, it's fucking evil. People that are really unhappy, that have never been happy their whole lives, they've been through a lot to really be happy, you know? That's evil, man. Don't let anyone lie to you and tell you that you chose to be here. Nobody chose to be here. And here's the thing. This is something very important to understand. If really, when we die, we get to agree to come back, or we are only here because we've agreed to come back. Our souls get recycled because we agree to come back. We only agree to come back because we are being manipulated, we are being lied to. You know, it's like there are some beings that be telling people that, yo, you haven't finished all your lessons, you know. Look at how you treated that girl. You didn't treat her right, you know. You shouldn't have left that girl. You have to make it right. You have to make things right. You have to go back and fix that. Look at how you treated your employee. Look at how you treated your friend. You stole from your friend. Look at what you did after your friend stole from you. You attacked them. You attacked his wife. You need to go back and fix that. That's manipulation, and we can see that people are being manipulated even now. You know, people believing that they are sinners. You know, Christians believing that they sinned before they were born, so they are sinners. That's manipulation. How can you sin before you were born? Like, Jesus died for your sins. Which sins? How could I have sinned before I was born? That's manipulation. And people are giving their lives to Jesus, believing they're doing the right thing. That is manipulation. So maybe we do get manipulated when we die to choose to come back. But we cannot learn anything if our memories get wiped off. You see? There's nothing that you learn. Another thing that you must understand is that even if I chose to come back here, let's just say I've been here before and I died and I chose to come back, there's no way that I'll come back here as myself. I'll be a new person. So that new person has not chosen to come here. You see? Like I've told you before, that we are our memories. If I remove the last 10 years of your life and say you must continue to live your life, let's just say I remove the memories that you've had the last 10 years of your life and say you must live your life, you must continue to live your life. You start doing things differently. You'll be a completely different person. You wouldn't be the same person, you see? Because your memories are very, very important. So it's a lie that we chose to be here. People are just trying to make money, man. You know how people feel about religion, They want to believe in something. They don't want to believe that all of this is meaningless. They don't want to believe that they're just suffering, and they're not suffering for any particular reason. No one chose to be here, man. No one chose to be here. When you have kids, you're just bringing these new beings into this world without their consent, and they'll have to deal with this world, You're lucky if you bring a child into this world that's kind of dumb, because they won't realize how wronged they were to have been brought into a world like this. Because if you're going to have a child that's just going to be like you, that's not going to realize how horrible the world is, you like it. But if you're going to have a child that's going to question everything, that's going to be surprised why you'd have brought them into a world is evil, then, you might end up facing serious problems, especially if they're mad at you, especially if they blame you. Because some internalists do blame their parents, and I don't blame them for blaming their parents, Although I know that people don't have children because they really decide that they want to have children like that. It's just them being manipulated by nature, not being strong enough, conforming to society's standards. You don't really get to think. They just reproduce because they are ignorant. So you can't really blame them. They're just ignorant. Just found themselves in a cult, and they weren't smart enough to realize that it was a cult, and they needed to think for themselves. It's very important that you think for yourself, man. You cannot allow other people to think for you. You have to take yourself seriously enough to think for yourself, but not too seriously that you actually think that this means something, because that's how you suffer. So that you take yourself too seriously. So when things happen to you, you suffer. Oh, why did that person say this to me? Why did that person say that I'm not good enough? Why did that person say that I'm stupid? Why did that person say that I'm ugly? Why did that person say that they don't love me anymore? Don't take yourself too seriously. If they don't love you, fuck it. Who cares, Don't take this shit too seriously. If you were in a dream and you believe that it was real, you will suffer. But if you didn't believe that it was real, you wouldn't suffer. If you were in a dream and you didn't take it seriously, you wouldn't suffer. If you get chased by monsters, you just look at them or just feel like it's some kind of a game, and just have fun. So you suffer because you believe that this shit is fucking real and it's important and it has meaning. Just be more like an observer, just observe what's happening and let it all happen, because there isn't much that you'll be able to do, and try to be doing the right thing at least, be brave, be yourself, do what makes the most sense to you. That's how you live your life. Don't be a coward. You're gonna die. I'm telling you, you're gonna die in the end. So there's no need to be a coward. Live a life that you'll be proud of. I'm not talking about becoming successful and all that. I'm talking about you being brave enough to make the decisions that you want to make. You being brave enough to really be yourself. You're not gonna be proud of yourself on your dying bed when you think, if you live your life like a coward. You're going to be proud of yourself if you realize how brave you've been. Think of the time in your life where you weren't brave. Think of how disappointed you have been with yourself when you think about that time. It's because it's important that you are brave. It's important that you do exactly what you want to do and don't care much about what happens after. You shouldn't care much about what happens after. Whatever happens, happen. Just make sure that you've done exactly what you wanted to do and let whatever happens happen, because you don't really have control over what gets to happen. You only get to control what you get to do, I guess. Even though we don't really have free will. Free will is just an illusion. But try to be brave, man. Trust me, you will be proud of yourself in the end. Don't be afraid to be alone and make your own decisions, even if other people judge you. They're not free. People are not free. They're not free thinkers. They don't know more than you know. They're not better than you. Doesn't matter what they have. Doesn't matter what they've achieved. If you are really yourself, you're really strong and you're really brave. It's you against you. When you really think about it, that's the true battle. So make sure that you are really yourself and you are making decisions that actually make sense to you. You're not being a coward. You're not being controlled by fear. I do believe that if we were all honest with ourselves, we would reach the same conclusion. If we were all honest with ourselves, we would reach the same conclusion about what's going on. We wouldn't be living a lie. Is that some people allow themselves to be controlled. Last week, a lot of people were watching rugby. They were watching rugby because it was well advertised, They knew what was what was going on. They knew which teams were going to be playing. I remember I was in this other pub. I wanted to watch the fight between Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou, because I love boxing for real. It's not like I was following the whole storyline, And I realized how easily persuaded most people are. You know, like these people have never spoken about boxing ever in their lives. They don't know shit about boxing. Where I live, people watch soccer, but because I mean rugby. Did I say boxing? I mean they never knew about rugby before. They don't know what happens. Like in rugby, they don't know rugby players, but they were tuned in to watch rugby because of how it was advertised. You know, most people love watching soccer. If they advertise boxing, that match between Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou, the way that advertised rugby, people would have watched that match. So it's like they don't know what the fuck they want. You know, they're not really themselves. That's why I'm saying you can't really trust other people because they're not themselves. They just believe and follow what the people that are above them want them to believe in. What people above them want them to follow. That is why people believe in these religions. They don't have strong minds, you know. It's important that you are yourself. You know what you love. You know what makes the most sense to you. Rather than living a lie and pretending as if that's the way to live. You must be so strong that you don't care about how you feel. You care about the truth. So even if the truth doesn't make you feel good, you do not give a fuck. As long as it's the truth, you're fine. You must love the truth so much because it's only the truth that's going to save you. You're not going to be saved by lies. You gotta understand that. Lies ain't going to save you. Being weak isn't going to save you. But if you're interested in truth, then the truth is going to save you. Because we don't know shit. That's odd enough. The fact that we do not know shit is odd. And that should make us suspicious. Why is it that we don't know what's going on? Isn't it important to know? You suffer because you don't know, not because you know. Although it may seem like people suffer because they know, like knowing too much makes you suffer. But here's the thing. You suffer when you know too much because there are people that are controlling this world that don't want you to know too much. But imagine if you know beyond what you know. You knew what this reality was all about, why you exist, where you go after you die. You'll be more free. You knew how to bend reality, how to get the things that you want, how to set yourself free. You'll be free. And that's what you want. You want to be free. You don't want to be a slave. So yes, knowing too much but not enough isn't good. You know too much. You know what the people that control this world don't want you to know. And they're going to make you suffer for knowing too much. And that is not good, I guess. But what's good is to know more. It's to know more than you're supposed to know. So you must be obsessed with truth, not survival. It is very stupid to find yourself in a world and not try to figure out what's going on. That's stupid, man. It's so stupid that people don't try to figure out what's going on in their world. They just do things that other people are doing and they think they're doing the right thing while they're being manipulated. Because that's how people get manipulated. No, people who are not curious enough get manipulated. It's people that are curious enough that are not easy to manipulate, you know. Thank you all, guys.